Hey guys, it's me, Rob, and welcome back to some more Metaphor ReFantazio. Last time, we hung out a little bit with Juna and Yufa, and we made our final preparations to depart from Verga Island, Etria, and begin our journey to Altabury, where the new exhibition will be taking place. But there is a lot of uncertainty clouding over us, so we'll just have to wait and see what tomorrow holds. Let's get some rest.
Good night.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I must say I am sad to leave the island, if not for no other reason than every meal here has been an utter delight. I'm almost certain you said the same thing when we left Brylehaven, and Martira. A new world of cuisine is but a few days away if you'll just be patient. Mind your tongue, Stroll. A few days is thrice as many meals. Wow, you really are taking this hard. Well, when you said your goodbyes to the people and the food, meet at the Gauntlet Runner.
Hold on.
Okay then.
Well, when we're ready.
Grand, isn't it?
I guess it wouldn't hurt to go get some supplies. Plus, I have the cash too. Oh, is there an exchanger here? It doesn't look like it. I don't think I need to buy any potions. Honestly, I think I'm pretty much ready to go. Ooh, what does this guy have, actually?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed. I guess we can see what this guy has, just so we can cook some stuff on the way there. Five of each, and that's fine. And I guess it's time to head on out.
Looks like the sea's settled somewhat. We've got a map of the Altabury region too. I'd say we're set.
Now we can leave with our minds clear and pockets full, eh? Where are those brothers? Out on errands?
I say we just leave them behind.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Well, long as we've got a minute alone, let's go over our plan. As soon as we get to Altabury, we give Luis the fake lance Nuris made up for us.
While I hold on to the real one.
Then, on the eve of this divine relic dedication ceremony, we use the real lance to end this, once and for all. He doesn't know we've worked out its powers. We'll use that to our advantage. Juna, we'll need you to convince Luis to attend the eve of the festival.
Oh, I've been pestering him to do so for a while now. Don't want him spending the evening in his heavily fortified Skyrunner after all.
So where is the false lance in question?
Right here, ready to poke an eye out.
Oh my god.
What do you think? A dead ringer, eh?
Such detail. Even I can't tell them apart.
When we get to Altabury, we'll pass off the fake to Luis. Then, we execute our plan.
Oh, by the way, I was talking with the Magnus brothers earlier. Think they might be onto us.
That's not good. We'll need to be more careful.
Wait, footsteps. Speak of the devils. We'll need to hide the real lance.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
Right, all present and counted. Anchors away, what?
Aye aye, me hearties!
What's wrong then? Is that not the customary exclamation of sailors? Mr. Buckland was very specific.
I wouldn't believe everything he says.
Tis a strange melancholy, leaving the people we have so recently come to know.
We'll be back. With some fantastic tales to tell them too.
Yes, certainly.
All right.
This is Altabury Heights.
Wow.
We'll make faster progress back on land.
Hold on.
Alva. Point Colony. Altabury Heights. All right. Let us proceed. Here's Altabury Heights. Quite a ways away. Think we'll make it in time? Without a problem. This fine wind will have us making landfall by the morrow, so the whole trip should be 2 nights with 3 days of travel. So I'll only have to endure 1 day of being rock sick. Now there's a grim face if I've ever seen one. Captain, for stroll's sake, let's make haste. Full speed ahead to Altabury Heights, capital of Montario. Take care you don't tumble overboard now.
With a new ally in tow, the Gauntlet Runner at last departs the island toward the eastern side of the inland sea. Their destination is the Principality of Montario. Its vast mountain crags, so different from the western terrain, can be seen clearly from the water. Their forthcoming task would be their greatest trial yet. They felt the tension rise in wordless silence.
Indeed.
2 days till we reach Altabury. No kidding. That sea monster would have caused a lot of mayhem. You know what? Actually,
Seriously.
you realize there was probably a way to get the lance that didn't involve saving the pagan girl, right? Oh, I suppose I can't complain since you got the lance either way. Still, if you want Count Luis's favor, take my advice and stop playing the hero. Yeah. What about you? What do you got? Gotta hand it to you. Can't believe you actually got that relic off him. Can't afford to Can't afford to cock up a job from Lord Luis, though, could you? Otherwise, you'd just be dead weight. Yeah. You guys are starting to like us, and it shows. Oh, Yufa added a book. This appears to be a Mustari-authored travelogue and a guide of lands outside the island. It's been thoroughly annotated by Yufa. I have yet to start reading it. Huh. Tolerance may increase. Not now. That'll probably get us all the way. Ooh. Nah, okay, let's finish Courage. Let's actually finish Courage for sure.
All right.
Oh, it's so close. One more and that should do it.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at Cliffshade Camp just as the curtain of night descends on the wilderness. Ideal for their cover, it works both ways, as monsters and rogues alike await their victims in the shadows of the rocks. Only a Gauntlet Runner offers peace of mind against such dangers, a large reason why they are so sought after.
Indeed.
Uh-oh. I can feel the temperature dropping since we made landfall. I bet it'll be pretty cold in Altabury. Most likely it will. Everybody has imagination. But I'm not gonna do that. Let's read that new book that you've posted. This travelogue offers an introduction to cultures and customs outside Virga Island, told through the Mystari's author's first-hand experience. Contains practical guides for things like creating an altar while traveling or making eye contact with unmasked people. These encapsulate some of the difficulties Mystari people face living outside the island. Ifa must have read and reread this thoroughly. This book is nearly in tatters. Living in a totally foreign culture sounds so difficult, and yet this author and Yufa are jumping right into it.
All right.
Ooh. Guess I know what I'm doing tonight then.
Come look at this.
Ahoy! You lot aren't going to believe the view I'm seeing outside. I'm hitting the brakes.
The Gauntlet Runner makes a short stop in front of Colorodeo Cliff, a bluff so tremendous it fills one's vision. Its massive fissure is said to be the vestige of a god's wrath, as only a force capable of splitting heaven and earth could cause it. Perfectly balanced by the work of nature, or the wrath of gods extolled in the myths of creation, none can say.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Absolutely incredible. I've heard of sheer cliffs before, but I never imagined something like this. Indeed. Falling off that precipice would be unfathomably terrifying. And exhilarating, I imagine. I'd like to try jumping off that.
On guard!
Damn boar-faced Sanctus Scullions.
What?
Yeah. Oi, what's gotten into you? My, that was rather pleasing. Quite refreshing, you know, to pull your voice from the very bottom of your gut and yell in such a manner.
Speaking of...
I am reminded of the time you were all yelling before me. It was a rather terrible experience, I admit. But if I may, I'd like to try my hand at this yelling.
Listen!
Never again shall I sleep in a roach-infested... I feel you on that. I'm with you there. How amusing. I would also like to try screaming as well. What's the matter? I fully intend to do it, but the words just won't come out at all. And oh, this girl is just too charming. Never change, love. Well, does anybody else have something to yell about?
All right.
As for me...
Oh. Oh, then I suppose it's old Nurse's turn. I prepared a list of complaints that I wish I could recite to you all on a daily basis, and... Ugh. Rather chilly out here, isn't it? We should head back before we all catch a cold. Yes, we shouldn't allow ourselves to spend too much time on these distractions.
Bombs away!
But I must scream! As always, I've drawn this place here. I'll give it to Maria.
The Gauntlet Runner stops amidst rocky terrain as twilight envelops the wilderness in darkness. The twinkling lights are not all stars. Some are the eyes of monsters, peering through the dark. To await the dawn in comfort and peace is a privilege only the Gauntlet Runner can provide. Before Altabury's mountains, the Gauntlet Runner sets upon the murky graveyard. The colossal bridges overhead are an impressive sight. During the Annex War, this land was a fierce battleground. Many soldiers, unable to return to their loved ones, found their final rest here. But few honor the dead. Their spirits take no solace. Their tragic remains are desecrated by wild dogs, leaving their bones exposed to the elements.
Oh my god.
Just look at it.
Whoa. These bridges are huge. There's an area defined by its numerous valleys. The bridges connect the flatlands and increase the amount of places in which people may live. Ah, that makes sense. But if these bridges were to fall in battle, those people would end up isolated.
Hey,
Yes, all very fascinating, but have you looked at what's directly in front of you? Those are the bones of people, aren't they? They are the remains of those who fell during the Annex War. This was the site of a fierce battle, and the dead were left to the elements, denied the dignity of a proper burial. So you're saying this land has been cursed for a long time. Thinking in such a superstitious terms avails us not. Real people fought and died here. It brings me no pleasure to see it, yet it is valuable to experience the cold reality of battle beyond the legends and tales of valor. Carve this memory into your hearts. That's why the magla that drifts about this place carries such an oppressive weight. I can feel the sadness and regret of those whose lives came to an end here.
All right.
hey,
Something wrong, nurse? Your face has gone blue. Perhaps this place scares you, nurse? My powers of imagination are more robust than most. Why, nurse, I'm surprised you put any stock in his scary stories. You're a more gentle soul than I gave you credit for. Too true, too true. For all else, I am a delicate flower.
Well then.
Shall we make a quiet departure so as to not rouse the dead?
That's my fault.
Sorry to have made such a fuss. I would like to give those who died a proper send-off and drew this with that in mind.
Altabury Heights, capital of the Principality of Montario, the eastmost country annexed into the Kingdom of Uchronia. The mountain path leading to the city begins near the coastline, but few gauntlet runners can contend against its steep slope. Those who complete the arduous climb are rewarded. City lights, dusted with snow, twinkle beautifully in the valley. But what awaits the party there is no reward, but their greatest trial thus far. The hour of reckoning draws near, and they steel themselves anew.
The seat of sanctism, Altabury. Truly, I never thought I would see it in person. What is that giant structure?
The monolith. In Sanctus Scripture, they tell of how the stone was shaped by God's own hand.
It's afloat. I'd only heard rumors that it didn't touch the ground, but to see it now.
Are we finally moving again?
Just another trip for our songstress.
We're here at last.
Well done. So this is the Lance of Legend, is it?
I am called Euphrasia, priestess of the island. For personal reasons, I have joined them on their journey.
You do not detest me?
I owe my life to them, and I understand they operate under your guidance.
Indeed. I had heard you were able to obtain the lance without incurring the islanders' hatred. Quite a feat, now that I know it to be true. Well done. At last, it seems that even fate has abandoned Forden. Thanks to you, I was spared the effort of sifting through ashes to find this. If the islanders could not be persuaded, my next course would have been to raze their village to the ground. The Caradrius' batteries would make that a fairly simple task.
What?
Why are you surprised? At times, sacrifice is necessary to save the many. Was that not the exact reasoning by which your countrymen would have seen you die?
You're...
Have the lance brought to my chamber later. Thank you for your hard work in spite of your wound. Take care of yourselves. Now we need only to wait until tomorrow for the Saints' Day festival.
The whole event will be held over 2 days at the Opera House.
The first day is the eve of the festival, and I'm scheduled to sing. Hope you're looking forward to it.
Main festivities start on the second day. That's when all these divine relics will be dedicated and sealed. It's aimed at proving beyond a doubt that Sanctism is the highest authority.
All kind of daft though, isn't it? If they were that confident in their scriptures, you'd think they wouldn't have to bother with all that.
This is where Forden dies. He and Sanctism itself. At the very least, it's worth giving him a memorable end.
Lord Louise, I do hope you'll come and watch me sing this time. We missed you at the opening ceremony. If you're not there, it'll hardly be worth it.
You needn't worry. Having come all this way, it would be a waste not to show.
Well, I'm off to check out the Opera House. Want to make sure everything's shipshape for my solo, of course. The rest is up to you.
You have all performed admirably. You exceeded my every expectation. Soon, Forden's reign will come crashing down. From this point onward, I would have you forfeit the competition and dedicate yourself fully to my campaign.
Understood.
For now, rest your wings a while. Tomorrow's festivities will be a grand show indeed.
It seems the land's passed muster. Eurus is a peerless craftsman, if not else.
Yufa, are you okay?
He would have destroyed my home. How could he suggest such carnage with not a shade of guilt? I was sure that deep down, all people are inherently good at heart. But now, you made it sound like you were bound to kill him at any cost. And now I understand why.
I see. Then let's get back on track and go find ourselves an inn. You've got more supporters now. I dare say we'll find better lodging than we could before.
I wouldn't be so sure. This city's in the palm of Forden's hand, and we're the ones who humiliated him during the exhibition.
All the same, we're about to do something big. To be honest, I'll take anywhere, so long as I can stretch out.
Let's just stay in the Gauntlet Runner.
As a last resort, maybe, but it might do us some good to see the city itself. Do a bit of scouting for our plans. Let's call the runner our fallback plan.
Then why don't we look for an inn run by a Mustari?
I thought this city was the seat of the church.
In times before the church, it said many diverse faiths and teachings took root in this city. That's why Montario is the only mainland nation that trades with the islands.
Indeed. My grandfather often said that until his generation, the only prominent building of the Sanctus Church was that opera house. Though the prevailing story now, of course, is that Sanctism reclaimed this land from malevolent pagans.
Either way, I'm certain there should be quite a few Mustari who feign conversion. And
if one of these Mustarians really exists, it may work in our favor. Let's look for it.
All right, let's do just that then.
Speaking of...
It is a Mustari-owned inn we seek, then I know of one in the center of town. It's called Skyward Tavern. I recall it being rather pleasant, with very little that would point to its Mustari roots.
Certainly.
It was on Dia Franco Street, if I'm not mistaken. So cold. At least Hulkenberg is in her element. Can we get going before we freeze, though?
Well met, eh?
Okay. Might as well just race down this way.
What in the blazes? Oh, cripes.
Well, there's the recruitment office right there. Just in case.
All right then.
Say there.
This is a very ominous sounding tune. And the version of this feels like something big's gonna go down. Ah, whatever. Let's just find this inn and get on with it. I do wonder how he's gonna do it, though. He says he wants to kill Forden, but let's just wait and see what happens.
You're not serious.
Oops. I know there is an achievement for me getting the, Wait, how the heck? Oh, it's down there. But as I was saying earlier, there is an achievement for being on my sword for a long enough duration, too, so I guess we'll just keep on riding it for the time being, but I gotta say, this is a very... Ooh. I love the spectacle of this place. There's the giant King's Rock, too, so... Is this it right here? Skyward Tavern. It's all the way out the end of town.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Wait.
Wait. A band of youths.
Oh, wait. A knight and a Ujief. Are you perhaps the candidate who brought Joanna the Sanctoress to confess?
One glance and you knew. Listen, we just...
I don't care if you did the deed or not, but please take your business elsewhere. I'm sorry, but I have my own reputation to think about.
You follow Sanctism's teachings?
You? A Mustari who wears no mask?
I'm Euphausia. I'm the priestess of Verga. No, of Edria.
The priestess? Impossible. The island priestess would never leave the village behind.
I have my reasons, but I wish to see the outside world that I might better protect our island. I have no proof, but...
You would raise another tribe to the throne.
'Tis a longer story than we've time to tell. We only wish to avoid a tyrant's reign. Yet 'tis not from our own ambition that I speak so. The throne belongs to one truly worthy.
But if you insist, we will leave.
It's just... You look so like the priestess before you, I can't just turn you away. Fine. You can stay here, as long as you don't make trouble for me.
Thank you. I suppose it is easier to understand each other without the masks in the way.
Not all of us mainland Mustari hate the Sanctus Church. We'd rather preserve the peace we have. And, well, it's a sorry excuse for an innkeep who turns away travelers.
Thank you. We're in your debt.
Ah, look, they've got food and booze here too. And it's so much cooler, which means fewer bugs.
It seems they have an imitation of the island spring here. We can bathe. I should invite Juno when she's back.
Bathe? You'd be mad to hope a hot spring replica could take the edge off this chill.
Cold or not, there's nothing more refreshing than bathing. Would you care to join us?
I should think not. For reasons too numerous to count.
Why?
Anyway, strategy meeting. Let's get on with it.
So we seek to assassinate Luis. A difficult task. But you look to have an idea.
First, the when. Under normal circumstances, we'd want to get him on the move. Maybe walking through a crowd while he's got less guards. That would be the plan. But unfortunately, that'd only work if he was someone with common sense, someone without combat ability, or someone who'd want to avoid collateral damage. And that isn't Luis. Worst case, he uses civilians as shields while more of his personal guard catch up, and things go sideways before we can get it done.
But once he's inside the Opera House, he'll have a security detail at his beck and call. Even if we can sneak in, getting to him.
If we can't target him in transit, and we've practically zero chance of getting close to him, that leaves us with only one option.
We join his personal guard ourselves?
I considered that, but it might be tricky. We can't guarantee he'd allow it, and besides...
The real lance is overflowing with magla. It would be a dangerous gamble to keep it on hand. That sort of power is easily noticed.
We attack from a distance.
Exactly.
A bow and arrow isn't gonna do much good, right? It needs to be the lance.
Of course. So, what if we threw the lance? Pierced him through from a distance? Yufa, as the priestess, you can command the lance to return to you if it's far away, right?
You would have me use that power in reverse to cast it out instead.
According to Juna, the ceiling of the Opera House has a chandelier big enough to support a person. From above, we'll target Luis in the royal box seats.
You realize the entire audience is below that lighting? A stunt like that would get us noticed instantly. Wait, are you suggesting we do this during the show?
Luis will be distracted. It's the best opportunity we could ask for. Besides, with Yufa there, we can even recover the lance easily.
Hold a moment. I would need to launch it like an arrow. Such distance and such speed would require incredible focus. I don't think I could do it while aiming.
Then just concentrate on the sheer mental force of it. Someone else can take over the role of actually throwing.
This gambit is sounding more far-fetched by the moment. But we also can't afford to wait for another opportunity.
There is no other opportunity. Luis intends to kill Forden during the festival. That means if we do nothing, the fake will be exposed, and so will we.
Indeed. Once our betrayal is made plain, we will never find a way to draw close to him again. This will likely be our first and last opportunity.
But who's actually going to do the throwing?
I'd rather leave it to you. With the royal magic protecting you, it's less likely that we'll fail this, even with interference. And besides, laugh, if you like. I know it sounds silly, but I really do believe you have the power to change fate itself.
Indeed. Everyone here knows that firsthand.
I feel the same. If I can trust you to do it, then I should be able to do my part as well.
Will you do it, Captain?
All right. I'll do it.
Thanks. We owe you. On the day of, Juna will be at the venue ahead of us. We'll have her open the service entrance, and we'll infiltrate from there.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I want you to lure Luis's guards outside and cause a commotion while he's making the throw. I'm sure the Magnus brothers will be guarding the place too. Hulkenberg and I will secure the exit route in advance. Luis is a formidable foe. But we've overcome plenty of obstacles. Let's believe in the strength that got us this far. We can do this.
Don't worry about it.
I know there's a lot of weight. There's a lot weighing on your mind right now, but let's try to get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. It'll get even colder at night, so try not to get sick. Right. Well, not much else recourse for us other than take a rest, but we'll hold that up for next time. So, we finally made it here to Altabury Heights, and tomorrow is the start of our operation. On that note, Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one, everyone. And as always, stay safe.